What is going on, guys? This is Justin with Go Crazy Card Collecting. It's been a long time, and I feel like all my last few videos I've started with that, but it's been a couple months since I've made a video. I started my new job. I'm a band director, and I started my new job at a much bigger school, and it's just demanded some more of my time. And it's been, I'll give you an update on that. It's been absolutely wonderful. I love where I'm at. I love the team I work with. I love Friday nights. I love Saturday competitions. We're getting geared up for our big competition at region marching assessment. Then 2 weeks after that, as long as we score high enough, we'll go to state. And I'm so excited for that. We've won some trophies along the way, and our football team is 6-0 and top 5 in the state. And it's an exciting year. It's a great time to be a Greenbrier Panther, and I'm so excited. So, any of you Panthers watching, go Panthers! And it's just been really fun. That's not to say I don't, that has nothing to do with my old job. I know that some of my Mustang family, it might be watching this, and so I love you guys, and I do miss you guys. I really love my new job. So, I know that we have the relationship that I'm sure you're glad to hear that. And so, for all of you who have asked me about it and told me that you hoped it would be awesome and all that, well, it is, and I thank you for that. And it's been really cool. And I've developed some really good friends through this YouTube community that I talk about my personal life with, and so they've kind of been updated on my job status and how things are going. But anyway, just to get into, I want to talk to you guys about the 1968 Topps baseball set. I did a video on this. It was the second video I did. It was a little over a year ago. And I was talking to those guys I was telling you about, or just talking about just a second ago, the YouTube guys that we're in a big group text. And to be honest with you, Mike J. Hawker, I feel like he makes a new group text about once a week, and we all get put in it. I'm sure he does it so things aren't just getting so flooded with the texts, but it's been fun, and we share our pickups, and we just have a good time with it. And so I'm thankful for that group, and I've talked, but one of them shared something the other day, and I'm sure he's going to share it on his channel. But it was, and I won't give too much away. It was a 68 Venezuela. And I was just like, man, I love that card. And it just made me remember my favorite set of all time is this 1968 Topps set. And there's just so much to it. You guys know my story of my mom giving me her cards, and I talk about that so much, and I hope you don't get tired of that. But it had the Nolan rookie in it, and then it had about 100 others, and I'll show you those cards. It had about 100 other 1968 Topps cards in it. That was the first year that she had really decided to do a bunch of packs, but it was also the last year she collected. She didn't have any 69 Topps. She had all the way back. She had several 62s, a bunch of 63s and 64s. She didn't have any 65s, 67s, and then she had a bunch. Most of what was in that binder were 68s. And so when I was showing somebody, they're like, you should go after that run. It's not, you've already got the most expensive card. It's not too crazy. And so I went down that rabbit hole, and it just opened up so many things. It's my favorite set of all time. I wouldn't say that it necessarily even looks the best to me. Like, I think there are better designed sets. I think they were trying, and I think they were trying something different. And I think that's awesome. But I do think that were sets that were designed better than the 68 Topps with the burlap. But it doesn't matter. And you guys know this. If you're a collector, if you've ever done a set, if you have any emotional attachment to any of your cards, it doesn't matter if some look better than those. Like, this set means so much to me. We were going through it, and somebody said that they had an opportunity for us to go and eat lunch with one of the players, and so we did that, and I'll tell you about that. I think I've talked about that many times on my channel. And it was also it had a bunch of stuff that had to do with the 67 World Series, which that has quickly become my favorite Cardinals team of all time. And so I love that Cardinals team, just so much star power on it, several Hall of Famers on there. And so, and I think there were 5. You had, of course, you had Lou Brock, you had Bob Gibson, You had Orlando Cepeda. Shandy was the manager. Maybe I'm missing somebody. Carlton, Steve Carlton. And so I think that might be, was that 5? I don't know. I think that was 5. And so, and then Stan Musial was the GM for that year, that 1 year. And so, it's, I mean, just a great team, a phenomenal team. And so it just led me down this whole rabbit hole to do this entire set. Now, while I was doing this set, I realized that I'm not necessarily a vintage set builder like this, because I only have limited funds. I have a very small budget, $25 a month, and sometimes I don't even get that. And so I have to use, birthdays and Christmases and different opportunities to maybe buy big chunks or bigger cards, or find ways to do it like I did with my Musial rookie. And but anyway, I'm going to show you the set. I'm going to talk about it through some of the set and talk to you about some of the things that I love about it the most. So I'm going to get this thing flipped around, and we'll go through it. All right, I've got it switched around. Here's something funny for you. Pretty sure I broke my ring light as I was trying to do this. So here we are. But here's the set. This is the first however many cards are league leaders, the first 12 cards, I guess. And what I've done is, if they were my mom's, I put these green stickers on them to indicate that they belonged to my mom when she was a kid, that she opened them from a pack. And I have several that are graded, and I don't have, what I want to do is I want to scan those at some point, and I want to put them in the set. I do have all these empty pages as well. I have the full game set that I have taken out. I had them in the binder, and I had taken them out because my son and I like to play the game. So I've done that, but I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit. Now, these are awesome because if you haven't had any league leader cards, and I did a video on the league leader stuff, if you haven't had any of the league leader cards, so many of them have Hall of Famers all over them, and they're not very expensive. The 68 ones aren't very expensive, but there are a lot from other years that aren't expensive. And I mean, look at this one. You have Yastrzemski, Killebrew, and Robinson, Frank Robinson on it, and all 3 are Hall of Famers. And you have several like that. You have Cepeda over here, Clemente, and Hank Aaron, all Hall of Famers. And so there's some really good league leader cards with a bunch of Hall of Famers on them. Here's all 3 Hall of Famers that you can get that don't cost very much at all, and I just love those. And see, here are those green dots. There's one of Lou Pinilla's mini rookie cards. Gil Hodges. There's Hall of Famer Joe Torre right there. This one's missing, and what I'm going to do, that is number 45, which is the Tom Seaver, and I have that graded right here. There's one missing there. That's number 50. It's the Willie Mays. This was my mom's. She opened that from a pack. Ed Matthews. That's not my favorite Ed Matthews card at all. Eddie Matthews. So here's kind of a cool story. Ron Willis, he was a relief pitcher for the Cardinals. And when I worked at Perryville, the school before where I work at now, there was someone there whose maiden name was Willis. And she said, "Do you have a card of Ronnie Willis?" And I said, "Yeah, he's in the set. I have a card of him." And she said, "That is my cousin." And he was, he was born closer to her dad's age. So her dad and him were close, and he played for the Cardinals. And so I thought that was kind of cool. He passed away really young. I'm not sure, had something to do with his brain. I'm not sure if it was brain cancer or, but anyway. Now, all my series checklists, I think all of them have marking on them, or at least most of them do. There's another one that was my mom's. Here's a blank one, number 80. That's Rod Carew. That was my mom's. The All-Star Rookie Cup. There's Willie Stargell, Gaylord Perry. Just a beautiful set. I just love it. And it looks, I mean, the look of it is very vintage. There's Don Sutton. Oh, there's one missing there. What number is that? 100. Bob Gibson. I love that card. This was my mom's as well. That's why I don't have it in the binder right now. I'll probably send it off to get it graded. Here's one up here. That is 110 Hank Aaron. This was my mom's. Came back a 5, severely off-centered, but it was sharp. Trying to keep it from falling off this table. Bunch of these have the stickers. When we get into the higher numbers, they don't have the stickers as much. She had a lot of the early series. There's Joe Morgan. These are cool. They're like TV sets, kind of reminiscent of 55 Bowman. But these are from the World Series. Brock socks 4 runs in opener. Yaz smashes 2 homers. The guy I got to have lunch with is actually the guy that Yaz smashed one of those homers off of. Don Drysdale, that is my reference card of the set. Someone taped it back together. I've just not updated it. It's like an $8 card in pretty decent condition, and I just haven't pulled the trigger and done that. But here's one missing here, 150. That is Roberto Clemente. I bought this one graded 5 with SGC. Here's some that my mom had. Gibson hurls shutout. Petrocelli, the Cardinals celebrate, which is a really cool image of them winning the World Series. Here's some more with the green dot. Tony Oliva. There's one missing right there. Curt Flood. I like that Curt Flood card. It's a great one. 176. Oh, it's 177. This was my mom's as well. She opened this one. The Nolan rookie. I love this card. Absolutely love it. Why wouldn't I? Not only is it an iconic card in the hobby, but it was also my mom's. So there you go. There's Cepeda. Man, it's just when you get this set in a binder, it's just a beautiful set. There's Killebrew. Dick Allen. There's one missing there. 230. Oh, Pete Rose. That was my mom's as well. Love that card. I love them all. There's old Tug, Tim's dad. And my good old buddy Tim. Al Kaline. That was my mom's. There's 2 missing here. We have 247 and 250. 247 is the Johnny Bench rookie card. Which is a really awesome card. I had to buy that one. Then this, I did not have to buy. This was my mom's, the Carl Yastrzemski, which is 250. It graded at 7.5. How awesome is that? Pretty awesome. There's Phil Negro. Dick Hughes, that's the pitcher I got to have lunch with, and he talked, if you can see it, I don't know. I know there's like a glare, but he talked about being in the rotation with Gibson and Steve Carlton, and he was actually the leading win, that had the most wins on the Cardinals that year, was runner-up for Rookie of the Year to Tom Seaver, had a fantastic year. His season ended the next year on an injury that he never got to pitch again, but he told me stories about Roger Maris, and his son has a scar on his ear from Orlando Cepeda's son. He said right by the dugout, they used to have kind of a kids area where they would watch all the kids of the players during the games. and Cepeda's son bit the ear of his son. And so his son has a scar on his ear from Orlando Cepeda's son biting him. And so he kind of chuckled at that. Like, that's a story I'm sure his son has told many times. Dave Duncan, longtime pitching coach for Tony La Russa. He was at the Cardinals and the A's. Bob Tiffenauer. See, that's cool too. Like, I graduated with his granddaughter in high school, and he is from my hometown, which is Deloge, Missouri. It says right there. And I've just always thought that was cool. She would wear his one of his Indians uniforms to school every once in a while. How crazy is that? So there's another tie. I just got so much. That's one of my favorite Tim McCarver cards as a Cardinals fan. Here's one missing here. 280. That is the Mickey Mantle. It's a great card. I had to buy this one. I actually, as a band director, I had a trumpet that was a personal trumpet that I never played. And I found this one on eBay for a price that I thought was reasonable. I had a trumpet that was worth way more than that and sold it for this price, so I knew I would sell it that day. What's funny is I sold it to a kid who is now our lead trumpet player at the school I'm at. So I sold it to a kid at a different school, and now I'm at the school with him. So that's pretty cool. Shane Dienst. I'm going to try to go through this a little quicker so you're not just sitting here forever. Great set. What's that one? 330. Roger Maris. He was on the Cardinals for 2 years. Won a World Series with them. If you notice, there aren't as many green dots up here. There's Ernie Banks. That's a great card of Ernie Banks. The All-Star cards are great. I love these cards. There's Cepeda, Brooks Robinson, who's a native Arkansan, where I live. Carl Yastrzemski. My Clemente has kind of a crease through it. I'm okay with that. There's Lou Brock. I love the picture on the back. It does one of Cepeda and one of Yastrzemski because they were the MVPs of 67. Yastrzemski had a Triple Crown year that year, 67. Anyway, Fergie Jenkins. There's the Steve Carlton. Great card. So great year for Cardinals baseball. 67, 68. They went to the World Series too. Lost to the Tigers. There's Mike Shannon. Became a longtime announcer for the Cardinals. So as a Cardinals fan, as a Boston fan too, right? It was a big time team for them. They ended up losing to the Cardinals, but that was a fantastic season for them. Let's see what this one is. Ah, yes. 490. It's the Superstars card with Willie Mays, Harmon Killebrew, Mickey Mantle. Fantastic card. I love this card. I found this one's in a little bit of rough shape, has a small crease through it and a pinhole. And I was able to get it for $30. And so I just knew, like, if I wanted to be able to afford it, I was going to do that. I may get a graded copy at some point, but I really like that card. Frank Robinson. It's 520. Lou Brock. I think that's my last graded card. I got that. That's got a crazy crease through it. Most of mine are in pretty good shape, but with an exception of a couple of them. There's Tony La Russa, Jim Palmer. Anyway, most of them are in really good shape, with an exception of just a few. I've got some that are graded. And so I just wanted to show you guys this. I use this to prop them up. Well, I wanted to show you guys this binder set and kind of give you a glimpse of why it means so much to me. Here's the Mickey Mantle game card. This set just, there's so much. The fact that my mom collected this set, about 100 cards are from her. The most expensive card in the set I have from her, with several others, Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. How I got the Mickey Mantle by selling a trumpet. The fact that I got to meet Dick Hughes and have lunch with him, and I've sent several things to him and wrote him letters, and he writes me back and signed stuff. And just, and the fact that the Cardinals won the World Series in '67. There's so much. So thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Stay blessed and have a good one. I miss a lot of you guys, so I hope we keep connecting, and just have a good one. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.